Joining me now to provide insight about the elections is Anton Fedyashin. He's an associate professor of history at American University here in Washington, D.C. Anton, thank you so much for joining us. In what ways do you think these local and regional elections will be indicative of the landscape of Russian politics now and in the short future?
Well, I don't think we're going to see many surprises here. The United Russia Party, which is considered by everyone and really is the power of party, is going to carry most of the elections. There'll be minor variations in how many votes its candidates will get. Many of them actually started running as independents, and I think that's because United Russia is becoming less popular in general. I don't think there's going to be any breakthroughs for opposition candidates, however, because ultimately Russians are very cynical about politics and have been for several centuries. This is not a new phenomenon. So I think there will be several communist candidates who will win, several candidates from the Liberal Democratic Party, misnamed as it is, but I don't think there'll be any surprises.
So still the dominance of the United Russia, which is Vladimir Putin, in the parliament?
Yeah, absolutely. Russians don't like their bureaucrats, but they're very supportive of their president. And although Putin is nominally not the leader of the party, Dmitry Medvedev is, who, by the way, already went and officially sort of congratulated his party members on a reasonably decent showing in the elections. I don't think there are going to be any surprises. Part of the problem is that the opposition candidates, the liberals, don't really have much of a platform to run against United Russia on.
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask you. If you read Western headlines, that's pretty much about the disqualification and the jailing of opposition candidates. Do you think these opposition candidates have a viable platform to run?
Well, look, yeah, this is a great question because unfortunately the Russian opposition is dominated by personalities, very few of whom can get along with each other and have been caught on numerous social and public spats with each other. If the Russian opposition could unite and move forward a powerful candidate or set of candidates, they could probably get into the parliament, but they haven't been able to do so. And part of the problem with that is that they don't have a viable program. All of the media reports in the West have really focused on the protests and their suppression. The Russian government is very good at shooting itself in the foot. What we haven't heard in the Western reports is any kind of detail about the program or programs of the candidates who have been barred from running. And the reason is that those programs either are no different from United Russia or they don't have programs at all. And they attract attention to themselves through political controversy, but not actually through appealing to ordinary Russians.
Do you think this cycle will continue, meaning the United Russia will continue to dominate in the foreseeable future, the 2021 parliamentary election, and the next presidential election cycle without a strong showing of opposition?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what. If the opposition takes the next 2 years to actually articulate a program that appeals to ordinary Russians and that emphasizes everyday problems and picks leaders who are more interested in dealing with police brutality and the court system and safety on the streets, then maybe the political opposition can actually win seats and create a challenge. But as long as they speak in very abstract terms about political rights, this is not going to resonate with most Russians. Most Russians are very conservative and very suspicious of what they interpret many times incorrectly as Western-inspired language.
Anton Fedyashin, thank you so much for your insight.